Welcome people, it's your girl Sarah and I'm back with another video. And in today's video, I'll be discussing something that is very personal to me that I've noticed more and more for the past few weeks. It's more prevalent in my surroundings. I mean, with all age groups. I'm talking people who are mothers, grandmothers, teenagers. Like, this is something that I noticed that's going on around me. And I want to know if you guys also have noticed this or you're someone who can relate to this topic. So what I'm going to be discussing is resentment, anger, and frustration for God making you someone with a big heart. Yes, you heard correctly. I feel like there's a lot of people right now in a season of frustration from God making them the way He made them, which is being kind, being generous, always considerate of others, just having a big heart. And now you're in a season where you're at your wits' end, you're overwhelmed, you're tired, a lot of you are angry, a lot of you are bitter because you feel like you have not gotten the same treatment in return. So let's talk about it. Okay, so first let me tell you guys what the definition of resentment is. These are some synonyms of the word resentment. So discontentment, displeasure, bitterness, indignation, irritation, animosity, hostility, hatred, envy, jealousy, grudge, grievance, malice, and just a few of the opposite of those words: happiness, contentment. And I feel like more and more around me are people who are very kind, but they're all kind of giving me the same energy. They're tired. Kind hearted people are tired. And I have a theory because I went through this last year and earlier this year where I just got very frustrated of always pouring into others and no one ever pouring into me, or very little people pouring into me, very few. Um, I would say that what I have learned on my journey in the past couple months about boundaries is its importance and its significance. I brought this up the other day with a coworker where I explained to her that yes, you are kind, yes, you are sweet, but at the end of the day, you need to preserve yourself. You need to be wise and preserve yourself. You're trying to help everybody, but who's helping you? You are frazzled, you are overwhelmed, and you're going to burn out. And when you're burnt out, that's no good for yourself nor anyone else. And they will replace you on that job quicker than you can blink. So self-preservation is very important. And I realized that people who are kind-hearted, big-hearted, generous, always considerate of others, these people tend to sacrifice themselves a lot. There is a difference between being selfless and being detrimental to oneself. And I'm just going to encourage you guys to learn how to say no. That is something that I've worked on for the past couple of months, and it has changed my entire life basically. Because now I am in a happier space. Now I don't have resentment towards people because at the end of the day I can say no. I can say no. Nobody's forcing me to take an extra shift. Nobody's forcing me to spend money I don't have. No. You can say no. And I think a lot of people who are kind-hearted, big-hearted, generous, considerate, selfless, they tend to lack boundaries. They tend to lack boundaries, and then that is what leads to that frustration and that resentment and that bitterness. And now you're talking about how ungrateful everybody is, and now you're talking about how selfish everybody is. But at the end of the day, who's gonna take care of you? You. Who has to look out for you? You. You can't depend on anybody else to preserve you. You have to preserve you. You have to take care of yourself. The same love and energy and resources that you pour into others, figure out a way to pour it into yourself. That has been my biggest lesson of 2024. Learning how to enjoy my time, my resources, and just give energy towards myself. I never used to do that before. It's all new to me. Self-care is all new to me. And it's one of the biggest factors in happiness and in just increasing and improving your quality of life. Trust me, as someone who was there just a few weeks ago, a few months ago, before I read all those books on boundaries, before I did all the therapy and the self-work, I was just letting people walk all over me. I was just letting people waste my time with stupid, conversations. Just, no, not anymore. I'm in a position now in my life where I recognize the value of myself, the value of my time. And I don't need anyone to validate that. I like myself. I will take care of myself. I got this. And it's not to say that I don't need anyone. I just now am putting the responsibility on myself. I can't expect anyone to make me happy if I can't make me happy. I can't expect anyone to spoil me if I don't even know how to spoil me. So that is the season I'm in right now. And I would encourage you guys, for those of you who lack boundaries, to learn how to set boundaries and stand on them. And another thing is to learn how to take care of yourself, truly take care of yourself. I'm not talking about just appearance. Take care of yourself. Make sure that you are resting. Make sure that you are putting good things into your system, whether that be social media, whether that be food, whether that be drink. Make sure that you're not overindulging in things that will cause you harm. Take care of yourself. You can work, but don't work too much. You can drink wine, but don't drink too much. You can drink coffee, but don't drink too. Everything in life is about balance, and it's about having proportions, the right proportions. Things can be healthy if they're taken, the proportions of those things are taken into consideration. Just going off and just overindulging on everything it's no good. So I would encourage you guys to, one, learn how to set boundaries, because contrary to popular belief, God has his boundaries and he made us in his image. Okay? Don't let anybody take a disadvantage of you. Don't let anybody use you and abuse you to the point of no return. At the end of the day, people only do what you allow them to do. If you set a boundary, for example, a friend was telling me something about another friend, and I stopped it right there in its tracks. Because how I feel now, I'm in a space where if I care too much. And then this thing is going to, fill my head and fill my day, and I'm going to be thinking about it all the time. So I just cut certain conversations out. I don't want to hear certain things. I don't want to gossip about certain things. I'm protecting my mental. Now, because I don't know the information, I don't have to worry about it. It wasn't going to benefit me in any type of way. So I cut it. I was like, listen, with all due respect, I don't need to hear that. I don't need you to tell me that. And sometimes we need to do that. Whether it's best friend, family, it doesn't matter. If you feel like talking about a certain topic or hearing certain news is going to affect you negatively, you need to put your boundaries in place so that person know, okay, I can't come to her about certain things. Like foolishness, she's not down to talk about, So that's where I'm at right now, where I'm just stopping anything in its tracks that is coming to disrupt my peace, that is coming to just distract me. I'm trying to just rid my life of distractions. I just want peace. I'm in a state now where I just want peace. And without boundaries, that peace would not be possible. So for all my people who are kind-hearted, who have given their all and their all and their all, and felt like loving the person harder would make them change or make them appreciate you more, that's never going to happen. Loving someone harder never made them appreciate you more. That's never going to happen. Newsflash. What I encourage you to do is to start focusing on yourself. Start valuing yourself. Because if you really value yourself, you wouldn't allow people to treat you a certain way in the first place. If you truly valued yourself, you wouldn't allow people to treat you that way in the first place. Hear what I said? A lot of us say, oh, I love myself, but do you really? I personally can attest to this, and I can be honest. I'm not going to lie to myself or to you guys. I did not love myself. I did not love myself. Because it's just now that I'm learning to value myself. I'm learning my true identity. Before, I let too much abuse go on to actually say with confidence that I love myself. That's not true. I didn't love myself. How many people can actually say they love themselves? And I'm not talking about vanity. I'm not talking about you always look your best, so that means you love yourself. That doesn't mean you actually love yourself. I know a lot of people who practice self-hate, but they always look on point. Externally, eyebrows on fleek, hair on fleek, everything on fleek. But at the same time, they practice self-hate. They're always picking themselves apart. So that doesn't mean you love yourself just because you put on the fanciest clothes. And it doesn't mean that you love yourself because you do one good thing for yourself. I encourage you guys to really start identifying yourself through the lens of how God identifies you. And that is step number one, I believe. Not knowing who you are or why God made you the way he made you is confusing and frustrating, to be honest. Like, why do people get to run rampant and be selfish and just take advantage of people, and then there are others who are just selfless and they can't seem to get in that frame of mind where they use people and abuse people? There's a reason why God made you that way. So don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged. Do not get discouraged. God made you that way, not by mistake. He made you that way on purpose. There's a reason for it. And a lot of times we fight it. A lot of times we try to be the bitter person and we try to be the selfish person. Trust me, it doesn't work, because that is not your nature. That is not your nature. Come back to what God called you to be. Come back to what God made you to be. You are just a light in the world, and that you just have to accept it. Learn to accept it, but learn how to guard it. So that is my message for you guys today. For all those people who are in a season of realizing how much selfish people are around them and that there's not really anybody to pour into them, start pouring into yourself. Start going to God, the water that never runs dry, the unlimited source. He will always have a word for you words of affirmation. He will always have an act of service for you. Listen, God will always be there for you. But at the end of the day, you have to accept that this is who you are and not be mad at God for making you that way. And then number two, guard that light that you have. Guard that heart that you have. The Bible tells us to guard our hearts. There's a reason why. It's very important. You can't let any and anything in, and you can't allow access to any and anybody. Learn to guard your heart. That way, the thieves won't come to steal, kill, and destroy at will, at any time of the day, because you have a fence. Not a wall, a fence. A lot of people that I notice have a big heart, but they end up masking it. And I used to be confused as to why. Why wouldn't you want to show people? And they used to say, you can't trust people, and you'll see, and it's better that way. There is a way, though, to move in the world without letting it change you. And what I mean by that is, I refuse to be a bitter Betty, and I refuse to go around not trusting that there is good in the world. There are people who are so jaded and so broken and so bitter that they're hopeless when it comes to other people. They don't believe that there is one genuine person walking this face of the earth. They think that because they have gotten their heart broken, or they've gotten used or abused, they feel like they didn't discard the entire human race. I don't want that. I don't want people who have kind hearts, big hearts, considerate hearts, selfless hearts to then turn into the same people that make us frustrated. Somebody has to be the light. And heavy is the head that wears the crown. Whoever has the responsibility of being the rulers, the leaders, the light on the hill, the lamp in the dark, whoever has that responsibility, trust me, is going to be harder for you. It's not going to be easier. But, like I said, recognize that this is who you are, and you can't change your makeup. This is how God designed you. And number two, guard your heart. Learn boundaries. Learn how to protect yourself. And trust me, you will start to see a change. I guarantee you. You will start to see a change. You will start to feel more at peace. You will start to be happier. But there are steps to get in there. There is a process to get in there. It's not going to happen overnight. It takes practice. So, I'll encourage you guys again. Accept that you do have a big heart. Don't be mad at God because He made you like this. And number two, guard your heart. Learn to set boundaries. Protect your heart. So, that's all I have to say. I love you guys, and I truly don't want you guys turning bitter or just walking around angry all the time because too many people did you wrong. I don't want that to change your makeup. So that is my prayer for you, that God keeps you the way He made you, keeps your heart soft. It doesn't harden your heart towards other people, because that same heart is the heart He's going to use to bless you and bless others. So don't harden your heart. That is my prayer for you, in Jesus' name. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, share. Let me know if you guys are someone you know is going through this right now, or you are going through this right now, and just interact. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next one.